He is a free agent. The question, Zach, I guess is this. Do the Rockets view this as just a simple situation where bring him back and try again? I know the salary cap situation is going to be big. Like, how do you see this all unfolding?
I would expect him to be back there next year. I think the bigger question is, are they really going to give him the full 5-year max, given that we just saw him pull another hamstring?
Wink, wink.
Yeah, well, there may have been something like that when that whole whatever happened with the Clippers
You lead
and
the
Rockets.
Clippers, and we'll make sure that.
Good Lord, do you know how to blink?
Yeah. Wink, wink.
That's your subtle
That
wink?
is something special that just happened right there.
Can you finish that thought, please?
Yes.
Well, what Jalen is suggesting is that perhaps there was an implication that as a condition of opting in and getting traded, he would get the full 5-year max. However, Chris is, I think, 33. That's a risky contract. And the Rockets are smart. And they're going to maximize James Harden's prime at any cost. And maybe that cost is we bite the bullet on the last 2 years of that deal. That might be bad. But I suspect they're going to find a middle ground, bring him back on a 3+1 or something like that, and take a run at it again.
And who else do they get? That's the question. Because it's just bringing him back alone. Maybe they win it, maybe they don't. But I'm hearing names. I'm hearing people say LeBron James may wind up there.
Well, they're going to try and get him. I mean, it's silly to suggest that they're not. Daryl Morey is no stranger to big, ambitious, grand plans, and the math of how to do that is overwhelmingly complicated. But I can tell you this, if that's in the water, if that's in the rumor mill,
Good Lord.
Daryl has a plan for how to do it, and it might involve 17 different trades and trading 3 different draft picks and just rolling the dice as much as you can. But, I mean, it's anything that LeBron wants to make happen is feasible to happen.
First off, if I'm LeBron James, I'm not leaving Cleveland.
Wow.
Why not?
I'm not leaving Cleveland because it's for the best player to get people to come run with him. And for some strange reason, we look at their roster now and think this is going to be the team next year. And before you know it, you're going to be hearing rumors of people that want to go play with LeBron James. It continues to happen while he's in Cleveland. I don't go chase a championship in Houston if I'm him.
Who might go play with him?
Yeah, who's going to go to Cleveland?
Paul George?
Possibly.
I've never heard
that.
Unless you're hearing something I'm not hearing. I've never heard anyone say he might wind up in Cleveland with. I keep hearing they may wind up together in L.A.
But the great thing about the Cavs is we can't makeshift their roster right now. Every year they found a way to build around LeBron. This past offseason, we thought that was Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, all of the moves they did. They felt like it didn't work. They scrapped it. Isaiah Thomas, Crowder, they scrapped that thing quick. 6 players, 4 trades. Before you know it, boom, they got a new team. They're continue to remake the roster. They have a top 10 pick.
Yeah, they got something.
And they have LeBron James. So I think they should be able to remake their roster for the best player in the game.
It just doesn't feel like that's a realistic option. It just seems like he would sooner leave before anyone would go to
When
Cleveland.
I see him walking through the tunnel, giving signature handshakes with his kids, that shows me somebody that's grounded not only with the community and with his basketball, but with his family. You don't, to me, just pick that up and be like, oh, I'm about to go run with Houston. There's no guarantee.
Why not?
Because somebody might get hurt, like Chris Paul got hurt, like Joel Embiid might get hurt. So there's no guarantee that just because you go somewhere that y'all going to win it all.
Well, and no one has showed me the Lakers team with LeBron that's ready to compete with the Warriors. I mean, that's LeBron and one other free agent and all the young guys that are in their second or third year. That's tough sledding too.
You act like they're going to be packing up their houses and moving, and oh, that's too much. We don't want to do it. This is a part of the life. You get up, you move, you have your bases wherever. They have many bases. They can live wherever they want. But that's not a reason not to do it.
When you're me in the league, that's a part of it. When you're LeBron James, when you're one of the greatest players of all time, they don't want to wear multiple jerseys. They don't want to move around.
All I know is that if LeBron goes to Houston, we lose Greeny as a basketball fan. So that's a price that you would have to pay.
At some point, just stop having this many teams. If everyone is going to wind up on 2 or 3 teams, just stop. Listen, I love it. I've loved the sport my entire life. At some point, you just cannot have all the good players in 3 different places because there were supposed to be good enough players to go around to all these other places. LeBron James winds up in Houston, you might as well just forget it.
How about this? We underestimating the domino that is Chris Paul. Say you Houston, you want to play those games and you don't want to give me my money? Sign and trade me to Cleveland.
Okay, well, that's something. That's something. I'll give you that.
You see what so don't underestimate the role Chris Paul is going to play in this. Because when you bring Chris Paul from the Clippers to Houston, that's one ear to LeBron James.
But I think Chris Paul's leverage is you are not taking a step back in James Harden's prime. There's like that is a non-starter, and I think that's his leverage. I think that's why they'll find a way to get a deal done because they tasted it this year. Harden is 28. I think there's no universe in which you're saying, you know what, next year will be a little bit worse.
Chris Paul don't walk away from $200 million in Los Angeles if it ain't no wink-wink deal on the table in Houston.
It's a lot of trust, though. People can wink. Doesn't mean anything. I want it in writing.